Okay, so here we are, where the sidewalk ends. Now, this is a nice little trick that I like to pull, where I use foundations floating in the sky as a sky bridge to get from one distant location to another. This means you can pretty much skip all of the monsters and local indigenous species that are out to destroy you, that happen to be running around on the ground out there. And I find this to be very, very convenient from getting from place to place. Now, as you saw just now, our oil reserves are right underneath us, and there's a couple over here, as I recall. So we're going to go ahead and set up our oil processing plant. And we'll probably do that over the water, just for convenience sake, because we have a lot of space here, and we're going to be piping a lot of water in and out to make some of the secondary products, I think, as we go. So for right now, let's just set up some ramps and get down there and get building. Okay, so here's our local map, and we actually have 3 nodes here. The one right under me, and there's 2 others over here. So we're going to start with this one, the furthest one out, which is a pure node, because that's going to give us all of the oil that we can manage for right now. And then we'll set up the other 2 as well to start pumping. So let's get this set up. First things first, obviously, we will need an oil extractor. This is obviously the easiest piece of this puzzle. Now, I do want to connect all of this up to the same foundation network eventually, so we are going to go ahead and use our primary foundation once again, and that's going to keep everything nice and neat. Now, next to that, we then build out our regular foundations, like so, and remove the primary foundation again. There we go. And again, this is just going to help us square this off a little bit. So zoop that into place, and we'll go ahead and zoop these as well. Perfect. Okay, now we can actually plonk down our oil extractor, and that will line up nicely right along these lines. There we go. Okay, oil extractor in place. Now, obviously, we don't have any power, and I didn't run any power lines over here, but we're going to need 40 megawatts one way or another. What I did bring with me, however, is a bunch of solar cells. And between solar and wind, we should be able to completely power this thing pretty easily. And again, as I mentioned, I think we're going to go this direction with this plant for where we're going to be doing our processing out here in the water. So maybe we just drop a whole bunch of foundations down and run this all the way over there. So let's see, let's do 1, 2, 3, and maybe not 3 that way. Maybe we just start here. And we run this out into the water like so. But we don't want to actually run into that pillar there. We're probably going to want to go this way with it, between the pillars. This does give us plenty of room to grow now. We don't want to run aground over here. So let's start here. We'll go about 4 that way, and we'll go all the way down to match wherever that ended up. Like so. That should be more than enough space for what we have planned here. I think what we'll do is we will build our solar array up from where all of this is going to be. So the oil coming out there will come into this area, and then we'll pipe it down this row. And so that means we're going to need our oil refineries, which are up here, like so. Now these are massive. These are about the size of our coal plant. These are not a tiny building. So we're going to set this down half a foundation off from that side, like so. And there we go. Nice and centered. And yes, 5 gives us more than enough space with a little bit of extra room here. Okay, so we've got 2 main products that we're going to want to create. Plastic, which we can make with just oil, and rubber, which also can be made with just oil. Now, if we were making fuel or anything, we would have residue left over, and that residue we could turn into plastic or rubber as well, but we don't need to make fuel at this point. Later on, perhaps we will, but for right now, we just want to do plastic and rubber. I think we are going to start with our plastic production. That does produce heavy oil residue, which we can then turn into fuel out of that, but we'll get to that later. For right now, we're focusing on the plastic. So, plastic it is. Okay, so that's going to give us 10 heavy oil residue that we will then have to deal with as well. But this is just the first phase. We just want the plastic in and get the residue out. And we're going to do that right here. So, if I recall correctly, yes, this is going to take 30 per minute. I believe this is making 240 per minute. Let's double check my math here. Right, 240 per minute. So that means we need 8 of these to max out. I think I brought enough for 8. Let's double check. 4, 5, 6, 7. In addition to 1, yes. 8. There we go. That is a lot of refineries. And again, all of these we're going to want to do plastic. Although, now that I think about it, some of these might need to be repurposed to deal with the residuals. We might have to do a smaller amount for now. So for right now, let's do half. Let's do half for now. We can always expand as we grow. Okay, so each of these we will be doing plastic, 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 and plastic. Now, I think that the way that we are going to solve our power problem, as I mentioned before, is with solar. So I'm going to plonk a solar roof on top of this thing. And we're going to do this exactly the same way that we did the last one with our undulating waves. So let's go ahead and do that. First things first, we build our walls up to the ceiling, just like so, and up, up, up. Let's see here. The main issue is that it needs to be tall enough to give us plenty of room for this entire massive stack. And that means these are super tall. I think, yeah, these have to go up at least 2 more levels. Now we could just have these smokestacks poking out the top. But I don't think that looks super great. I've done that in a couple of builds. I think it just kind of looks clunky. I'd much rather just have this all be nicely, easily contained. I might change my mind later, but for right now, I think this will do. And then we just do the same thing down this way. We bring our walls all the way over. And we don't need to go all the way down. We just need a section here that matches what we've got. And again, we go all the way up with that, like so. And I'm not going to close in the back yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to need this extra row or not. What we will need, however, is a way to get up there. So let's go back outside. We're going to put a door in here. Or actually, this is probably where we're going to go in and out with our resources. So we'll probably put the door just off to the side. So we're going to do a normal wall here, and that one we're going to do pipeline holes, which are under our logistics. Pipeline wall hole, just like this. And that will be our input and our output. Okay, so we also are going to want to keep track of what things are going where. So we do want to paint these. And I'm just going to use black for oil for now, just to be simple. And these are plastic coming in. Okay. Oops. Yes, this is the right recipe. Okay. So all of this is in place. And now we just need a way up and down, which we're going to do the simple way for now. Eventually we will put in probably a elevator, but we don't need that for now. We just need to zoop down some stairs. Like so. Okay, zooping stairs. Okay, so undulating waves, right? That is what we were planning on doing here. So we're going to go and grab our fix-it roof. Fix-it roof. Under architecture somewhere. Here it is. And we'll do the 4-meter roofs the same way we did before. It looks like that doesn't want to connect, so maybe we need to go to foundation first. Now will you connect up? There you go. Okay. And we zoop this over here. We're going to do, I think, 5 of them. 4, 5, just like that. Okay, and there's our zooped roof. And we can also remove this foundation that we don't need. Well, we'll worry about that later. But let's make these solar roofs. And then we do the same thing, undulating waves of roofs, back and forth. You know, if I was really clever, I could have done this up as a peaked angle here and made this look a little bit nicer. But we're not going to do that for now. Okay, 5 there. And really, I'm just going to use every solar panel I brought with me. I brought 100. So that'll give us basically 25 of these. There we go, just like that. And now all we have to do is connect these up, and we're going to do this exactly the same way we did before. We're going to run it this way. So it's 1, and then 2 there, like so. Okay, now these are all wired up. Now we just need to connect them to each other. And again, we're going to use the same trick that we used before. Almost fell off there. Where we wire them up with holes here. So let's remove that. Actually, what we can do is use a wall outlet. I think we want, yeah, we'll just put it way up here. And remember that this one needs to come back down, so we're actually going to put that there. Actually, no, this needs to be the other type of wall outlet, right? Because we want input and output. So power double wall outlet. So coming into here. Okay, and now we just connect this one over here to another row. It's kind of hard to see here. I might climb up top and finish this out. Okay, so it's right there. And so we just want to come right over here with it. 1, 2, and then we run it down the line again. Same thing as before. And 1. Okay, perfect. Now all of that should be wired up and working. And if we did our job just right, we'll be able to see that here. And the easiest way to test that is to just stick a power pole down as just a monitor. So 0 production. Why? Because it's nighttime, as we learned last time. Now, the other thing we need to do is make sure that when it is nighttime that we don't completely lose all of our production. I'm sorry, Katerium, let's just move you out of the way. We don't need you right now. Okay, like so. And so we're going to also plunk down a bunch of batteries here. You know, I am going to bring these up a level. Can I get over 2 meter? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Just so that we don't have to deal with this like rocky area. And I think right, yeah, there. Okay, and so we're going to build a bunch of batteries here, the same way we did last time. Power storage, there we go. I'm going to just clip this over right next to the wall there. And I only brought a few stators with me, so we're just going to do the minimum necessary here. Yeah, I kind of want one more row. Can I afford one more row? No. Okay. Well, 8 will have to do. Okay, here, and we do the same thing as before, where we've got these power poles down, and we're going to run these cables down the row like we did before. Okay, those are connected. And we will have to come back and buff these up later because this is not going to be enough for our entire setup. But at least for now, it'll be pretty good. And we connect that to our output here. Okay. There we go. Now, minimal production and then ramping up rapidly, you can see here. And the total amount of storage we have is 800 megawatt hours. So that's going to be pretty decent. And if we really wanted to, we could bulk this out with just a couple of like wind generators, just to give us a little extra, because those are relatively cheap to create. I think we can afford... Oh, we can only afford one of those. You know what? Never mind. We will have to deal with what we've got for now. Okay, so we have that all set up. Now all we have to do is connect up our pipes. Now, I did go ahead and unlock the decorative version of these pipes that have no indicator on them, just because I think that they look a little neater when we're building this out. Obviously, for those of you who want to see everything that's going on and be able to tell if there's fluid going in and out, you might want to use the other ones, which are these. So these will start expanding when you've actually got fluid coming in and out of them. But again, we don't really need that to know what's going on. It's pretty easy to tell what's going on here. I'm going to plunk down a power pole right here just to make expansion a little easier. And then I'm going to connect that up all the way over here. Is that too far? Please tell me that's not too far. It's not too far. Okay, great. And now that's going to start up our oil extractor. It's just going to pump out all 240 of those per minute. Now our consumption is at 40, but our production is still 245 right now. So that's going to be fine during the daytime, but we have yet to connect all of our processing, our refineries yet. And these do use 30 megawatts. So we're still probably fine, but it is something to keep an eye on. All right, so plunk down a couple of our power poles, connect those up to everything. And then back to our main line, like so. All right, so now all these need is, of course, oil. That's the missing ingredient here. So we're gonna run one main all the way down to about the edge of where our building is. And then, of course, all we have to do is put in our junctions. And, oh, you can really hear those now. I never noticed that before. Okay, so same thing here. And same thing here. And like so. Okay, so all of these are now producing plastic and heavy oil residue. Okay, now we are going to have to do something about this heavy oil residue, of which we're going to have 40 per minute. Yeah. This is the way we're going to get around this. We're going to make a whole bunch of petroleum coke with this. This takes 40 per minute, so we need one refinery for each 4 of our plastic making refineries. We're going to do this as a building adjacent to us. We're not going to do it in the same building. So let's just go over 3 ticks. And then we're going to lay this out here. And again, I think it's, technically it's 4 foundations, but we're going to give ourselves 5 by 5 just to be safe. If I left myself enough room, let me double check that I did indeed leave myself enough room. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're far enough away from that rock. We're good. Okay, so these are all going to output there. It's going to come out through this wall. And so it's going to come in to this wall here, and we'll do the same thing again. Actually, we might go here just to make our doors easier. This makes it a little bit more convenient to get around. So we'll do center door will be here, and door will be here. And I could even put it in right through the wall hole next to us if we wanted. I think we'll do that. All right, and then we plunk down our refinery right here, like so. And we don't need to be that far away from the wall. I think we can get away with right there. I think that'll work pretty nicely. Okay, good times. So, here we just need another wall hole. Oh, that's the floor hole. Wall hole. And then we just run our pipeline into there, and we tell this what to make. We're going to use it to make petroleum coke, 40 per minute, 120 out. Perfect. Now, petroleum coke we can use to power a coal plant or any number of other things. I might go ahead and set up a coal plant over here just to deal with that, but since we're getting enough power already, it might make just as much sense to instead just use it straight into the awesome sink and not even worry about it. Okay, let's plunk this down right, let's see here. And we need a double wall outlet, so it'll go back out, and we're gonna put that right over the wall here. Another double wall outlet going in. Again, just wiring up all of our logistics here. And then a power pole, which we'll do right here. Coming off of that. Whoops, that's the wrong spot. Like so. Okay, heavy oil residue, and then we just need to collect the residue coming out of there and put it into our new plant. We'll put another wall hole right here, same spot as the other plant. Is that a straight line? Well, it's pretty close to a straight line. Okay, and now we just want to run our pipeline. So let's do it right here, because that's going to be nice and close. And then we run this all the way down, again, to the edge of our building. And those have all shut down because there is no place to output all of this stuff. I think this will still let me. Yeah, we're going to do our conveyors above here for the plastic coming out, and that's just going to clip with the pipeline, and I'm just going to live with how ugly that is. I don't really care at this point. Junction crosses need to be put in place here. Just like that. Connect it up. Just like it is on the other side. Now, I haven't really investigated whether SmartMod will do pipelines for you. I've only ever used it for conveyor belts. It would be super nice if it did do pipelines. I will say that. I haven't tried it, but that would be awfully handy. Okay, and that's going to turn into petroleum coke, and that'll pop out right here. Now, the last thing we're going to do over on this section is I am going to put in some walls here. And again, I'm not going to go all the way up with this. This is just for helping me frame out how this base is going to be set up. And yet, you know what? I don't need to go over 4. I think I will cut out this last. Well, more room is always better than less room, and 5x5 works well for me. So we're just going to go out a little bit here. We're not going to go out a lot. Just like that. And we are going to put an awesome sink in over here, which is a special building like so, because we don't actually want to use this coal right now. It's not actually going to be helpful for us. It would help us with our power setup, but I'm not really worried about power at this juncture. Again, trying to go for clean renewables as much as possible. Now, likely I put that way too close. Now, I can make the bend. Okay, and there goes my petroleum coke, straight into the awesome sink, and now all I need to do is power it. So, we do that like so. We run our cables all the way across. Whoops, nope, we want the other type. double wall outlet. Okay, and then that runs out to our awesome sink, which will now start crunching these along, and that should bump up our rate even higher than it was before, with any luck. Let's just give it a second. 3732. No, I'm not seeing any skyrocket here. Ah, there it goes. Look at that. 3,700 to nearly 6,000. Oh, I thought we were already at 6,000. Well, that's something to debug at a later date. For right now, we are good. All of this petroleum coke is being dealt with. All of our main production is being handled over here. So the last thing we need to do is lay out our conveyor belts, right? So we're going to do that like so. We're going to run this all the way down here. So we have instead these lifts bringing it up. Now it does collide with the pipeline. I don't think that looks terrible, honestly. I know mentally that should be like the worst thing in the world, but I can kind of live with this. And then the mergers are basically glued smack on top of them, so it's actually inserting inside, but it still connects just fine. Again, not a problem. Looks awful, but we can live with it. And then we actually have all of that going up and out on the floor just above us, and then our doorway comes out there. So there's all of our plastic. Now we need is a place to put the plastic. So we're going to set up some industrial storage. We're going to do a redundant storage, in fact, because we're going to want a lot of plastic, and maybe a several times over redundant storage even. So let's plonk that down here. I think I wrote enough that we can actually do a decent number of storage containers. We can actually put those right butted up against each other like this. One more. Can I squeeze one more in here? There we go. Okay. So that is a lot of plastic. And we're going to wire these up top and bottom. And eventually we'll do the same thing with rubber as well. We probably won't do that this episode, but now I'm going to want to bring this over and in, but I want to do this carefully because one thing I'm also going to want to do is have overflow handling, which I think we'll do like right over here, like so. So we're going to set up another one of our awesome sinks just adjacent to this, right about here. Yeah, we'll do it here. Okay, like so. We'll power it. I think we have enough power still without everything going offline. And then for that, we're of course going to want to use a smart splitter right here to line up with everything. Input on that side and into here. Okay, so a smart splitter goes in there, and this time it's off the side here. So any goes off to the side, and straight becomes overflow, like so. Okay, now last but not least, we need to make sure that this can pick up these parts, and we'll go around like this. And actually, I'm going to make this just a little neater. I don't have to. There's no reason I have to do this. But I think it looks good when you actually set it up properly. I am missing iron plates. Oh no. Well, that doesn't require an iron plate, does it? Alright, fine. We do it the ugly way. If we're completely out of iron plates, we're just going to have to live with ourselves. Okay, so there we have it. Our plastic production coming in a decent rate of production right now. A lot. Well, this is just the backup, but we're going to have a whole bunch of plastic, and that is very, very good news. But I think what we really need to do between now and next episode is come up with a way to get the plastic out of here. Instead of just in these storage containers, we really need to put it to work for us back at our base for the next tier of products. Those tier 4 and above sorts of products. So to do that, we're going to have to get it all the way back up to our platform here, and then all the way back to our base, which you can see off in the distance. Now, I don't think I want to do that with belts. I think trains are the way to go. We haven't unlocked trains yet, but I think that now that we're into the tier 5 and 6, the next thing we want to start building out is trains. So I think next episode, that's what we'll do. We'll set up our first couple of train stations once we get enough plastic to unlock all of that, and we start setting up at least one main line that's going to go back and forth from here to our main base. But for now, I think we're going to call this the end of the episode. So thank you again for joining us here on Enterprise Architecture. And we'll see you back here next time for more Satisfactory Update 6 action. Bye, friends.